Good afternoon, guys. My name is Jake Henry, and today we're going to be talking about lean manufacturing and Tesla using those production methods, and namely the TPS, Toyota Production Systems, in their manufacturing of motors and cars. Just a brief history. Tesla was founded on July 1st, 2003. They bought out NUMMI, which was a large company that was a integration of GM and Toyota, where Toyota started to teach GM about lean production and the TPS. They're based in Fremont, California. Their first vehicle was the Roadster, which was a modern, super fast, super efficient electric sports car that was marketed to the rich and the famous and was just this height of technology in the modern vehicle era. And it allowed Tesla to become that big name in cars and in the automotive industry and gave them their platform to succeed and allowed them to buy out NUMMI and to just become this giant in the electric car industry. Just a little bit about their company product production ideals. They have this on their public page, on their public website, that just is a little bit about their production. You'll notice that it's a little bit safety oriented, not so much production oriented, which will allow you to understand where their head is as far as just being safety minded more than lean minded. And it says, to achieve our goal of having the safest factories in the world, Tesla is taking a proactive approach to safety, requiring production employees to participate in a multi-day training programs before ever setting foot on the factory floor. From there, Tesla continues to provide on-the-job training and track performance daily so that improvements can be made quickly. The result is that Tesla's safety rate continues to improve while production ramps. So just a little bit about Tesla before they implemented lean practices. They were already the most advanced production plant in the world at the time. They were nearly 100% automated, using robots almost to a fault at this point in their production. They tried to eliminate the human error side of production and tried to make it completely repeatable in the sense where they use robots in every aspect, whether it be assembly, manufacturing of the base parts, the metals, the leathers, the other components, even to painting. And the paint jobs on these vehicles are done remotely with using automation rather than the human hand. They're building on a strong legacy here. NUMMI already was a giant in the automotive industry, and these good bones allowed them to grow exponentially from the start, which was a huge thing for them. NUMMI was already known for its intense use of the TPS, and this was just a promising start, allowing Tesla to start from a place much higher than other companies, starting from NUMMI in this great facility that already had a legacy of lean production and the best production on the planet. So starting there was really good for Tesla. And here's just a short video about their startup and again to their legacy now.
Before Tesla moved in back in October 2010, this factory in Fremont was the home of NUMMI, which was a joint venture between General Motors and Toyota. It was at the time where the auto industry was struggling, and we were able to buy this factory for relatively low purchase price. And we decided to essentially refurbish the factory from scratch. I was based at SpaceX making rockets, and the SpaceX factory was really super clean, super light, super open. And so when we were able to acquire the Tesla factory, we said, okay, we need to make it similar to SpaceX. We're going to paint the ceilings white, the columns white. We're going to make it bright. Where we have the ability to have skylights, we're going to have the light from the sky, And the psychology of that is if you want quality, you need people to feel at ease. You need people to feel like this is a quality place here. I need to make a quality product. we constantly try to improve process efficiency. We're utilizing automation to the fullest. We have about 160 robots, the latest technology you can find on the planet, that are able to do very diverse tasks. Robots are extremely good at repeatability, accuracy of motion, but humans are more intelligent than robots. Therefore, we need to use humans where there's a lot of value for that intelligence.
As you can see there, Tesla is using automation and is using their good footing at NUMMI to go ahead and create that lean culture, using the paint finishes of the insides, using skylights, and using just the environment to help just formulate an environment that is excellent, that requires excellence, and that instills a lean mindset into its employees, which is just priceless in a manufacturing setting, especially automotive. For their employees to have that mindset, it saves them time, money, and adds a quality that cannot be bought. So problems started arising with the Tesla company. Their Model 3 car, which was an affordable, mass-produced vehicle, started to cause problems. The over-automation of the process led to the company having problems with quality. The product itself was being reviewed by the public, and in the public eye, it started to be a problem. It resulted in a 123,000 unit recall. This was not good for the company and the public opinion, which it relies on so greatly. The company started to just had to totally revamp their idea when it comes to production, and this over automation was just not working. It was a very high standard technologically, but it was just a production hell, which is a quote from Elon Musk himself about this time during the Model 3 production. It did not allow for a quality product, and it did not allow for a good perception in the public eye. So something had to change, and what they did was they adopted lean processes in their manufacturing. This is just an overview of Elon Musk's view on production. He says in a quote, "The car industry thinks they're really good at manufacturing, and actually they're quite good at manufacturing. But they just don't realize how much potential there is for improvement. It's way more than they think." This just shows the smugness that I personally believe is there, and his unrealization of the value of the Toyota production system and the value that it can bring to your product. As far as the leanness, the saving on waste, and the saving on money and time, which he just does not recognize here, and so they had to change. Something had to change. So they began their journey to become lean. They started eliminating waste, finding new ways to do the hard tasks, and just implementing constant improvement. And also something that is not part of the Toyota production system is just being open and honest to the public. This was something that they implemented and they chose to use. But the other three, eliminating waste, finding new ways to do hard tasks, and constant improvement, we talked about earlier in class, and it is part of the TPS house. They were already using a little bit of just-in-time and Jidoka, but their base was not strong, and their use of constant improvement was just not enough to keep up with the demand for this product. It was not enough to produce enough mass to appease the public. So when they were eliminating waste, they thought to themselves about the product itself. The car itself eliminates waste. It is an electric car. Let's utilize that and start to take on those ideals into our production. So the automation heavy side started to wane. They started to use a U-shaped assembly line, which saved on space exponentially, whereas the production line loops back on itself, and there's much better use of communication between both lines between the front and the back of the assembly, and also a visualization from the employee's perspective of how the car starts to be made and how it finishes. And so it increased employee morale and just fixed a lot of their muda problems, their waste problems in their production style. This saved them a lot of money and a lot of time in their production. And honestly, their change in ideal from a from a high performance place to a lean and a cut all the fat type of production style helped save them time and money and fix their business and save their business, in my opinion. The hard tasks when making the Tesla car, was self-imposed. The over-automation of the production wound up not saving them money, but it wound up having them waste money. So they were trying to limit manual labor and increase automation when what they had to do was eventually marry those two ideas and bring the automation when the task was repeatable and when the task needed to be done with extreme precision, and then using manual labor when the process needed to be done with not so much precision but fast thinking. Intelligence needed to be had. So they had to marry those two things in order to do these tasks that were hard, these Muri, as we talked about in our class. And constant improvement. The company philosophy was already utilizing constant improvement in their cars and in their view on the world, but not in their production. So they had to take stock and reevaluate their company. And so I'm going to show you just a brief video about their constant improvement mindset. This is Elon Musk talking to an interviewer.
Yeah, so it's going to pick it up and transfer it to the other robot. Yeah. But I think like a design improvement we should do is like really just the one robot should just pass it to the other robot.
Just pick it up.
Yeah,
there's a third one above us.
Yeah, it's like it puts it on a table. The table rotates. It's like if we did this over, we would just have that giant robot pass it to that giant robot.
Fair.
Yeah.
Handoff.
Yeah. There's like thousands of like little things like that help improve production. General Assembly.
So the company was very accustomed to constant improvement, but taking that mindset into its production helped the company grow exponentially. They were already huge into software development, and software improvements were a normal thing, but they just continued to use those in their production methods. They began to produce their raw products in-house, whether that be the aluminum for the car, the leather, the batteries themselves. All of these components were produced in-house and started to save them money on transportation and on their just base tools they use. They were open to the public. That is something that Tesla does that no other company does. It's not really a part of the TPS, Toyota Production System, but it's integral to their public perception. This is a Tesla innovation, and it's something that not many other businesses do well, but Tesla does this. It brings on extra stress, but it brings public interest to the company, and it allows them to not have to use any form of marketing, which saves them so much money. They don't have to use marketing in a normal sense like a Ford or a Chevy. The people who are buying their products come to them, and they do not have to bring forth any port of marketing to their product. I would improve the company by implementing more of TPS into their production. It's not being fully utilized. They have self-imposed pressure on themselves, and their vision for the company is partially impaired, so they need to fix those problems, lower their goals, and diversify their input from other companies to fix their productions. They need to bring forth 5S, Kanban, and into their human aspects, Heijunka, and just more stability in their product. They are good. This is what students should use. They are a smart company. Their automation is vastly above others. Their vision and their worldview is great. Thank you. Any questions?